What is the key factor driving an aeroplane fly high? The answer is customer. No matter what kind of company it is, it always requires customer to have a satisfactory customer experience in order to make a company have higher growth. Good morning, judges, ladies and gentlemen. We're a team from CUHK. I'm Yo-Yo. It's Yan-Hong, Max, and him. And we're here to present to you how to use high flyers to get your company fly high. Before starting, let's take a look into our summary. It is our key objective to help Cathay Pacific to use design thinking in order to achieve business transformation and to cope with different industry changes we have identified. So, what are the key changes or questions that we have identified? The first one, there is unforeseen events severely impacting the customer experience. And the second, the low-cost airline has increasing preference, which seems to be our competitor. And the third one, the OTA introducing the pre-sale products, which attract more customers to consume their flights there. Therefore, we have suggested the two strategies. The first one, introducing pre-sale product. And the second one, to improve the post-landing traffic arrangements after some unexpected events. And we believe that by implementing these strategies, we can bring an increase of 12.1% increase in revenue, and also, most importantly, to promote the customer experience. I will now pass the time to Yan-Hong.
Thank you, Yo-Yo. So Cathay Pacific currently offers various type of resources to cater customers' needs, from pre-flight to post-flight. In terms of pre-flight, examples are chatbot, which responds to customer inquiries, and apps which helps customers to make their travel arrangements. And in terms of check-in, it provides online check-in, which allows customers to skip queues and reduce duration of staying at the airports. And in terms of airport experience, it provides lounge for customers to relax, and in flight experience, it provides digitalization, which cabin crew will be using the tablets to communicate, access the data, and make orders. In terms of post-flight, it provides support to transition flight users. Yet, for the unforeseen events that Cathay Pacific may experience, such as bad weather conditions, accidents, mechanical failures, these unforeseen events may impact customers' flight experience due to longer waiting hours, insufficient customer support, and which will affect the following schedules of the customers. Cathay Pacific is currently unable to cater the needs and response to the unforeseen events. In addition, Cathay Pacific faces different competition in terms of low-cost airline. But how does low-cost airline operate? It's through customers will pay for a lower cost of flight, and in return, they will offer lower quality of service and less add-on services. There's an increasing presence in short to middle haul flight for these low-cost airlines. The duration of it is less than 7 hours. And some examples of companies are Hong Kong Express, Peach Airlines. In such competitive industry, it is very hard for Cathay Pacific to expand on. Hence, we should target the customers to frequent and essential flyers. Also, OTA industry is another increasing has increasing presence in the travel industry. Some examples are Trip.com, Agoda, and Expedia. And they offer different pre-sale products, including coupon bundle, membership, and passes. But how does these pre-sale products work, and what's the benefit of it? So when one customer makes a travel decision to its actual purchase action, the duration of it is pretty short. By introducing pre-sale products, it can enlarge the duration, and when it makes decision on travel, it will realize that the benefit of the pre-sale products, and eventually purchase the ticket of your company. Now I'll pass the time to Yo-Yo.
Thank you, Yan-Hong. So let's go back to the question that I have suggested at the beginning. What is the key factor that drives a company fly high? I've told the answer as consumer right. So here comes to another question: how to make a consumer satisfied? So here is the first strategy, which is work as the fuel to drive our aeroplane fly high. We will introduce and launch the pre-sale package for frequent flyers. So let's first take a look into the characteristic of frequent flyers. What are the demand and what are the characteristics we can observe from them? So the first one is they are extremely price sensitive. But why? Because they are frequent flyers and they have more complete information on the pricing between different airlines compared to the non-essential flyers. Therefore, using low pricing to attract them is one of the key points that we have observed and found out. And the second thing that they have more predictable traveling pattern. Compared to the non-essential flyers who have irregular traveling patterns, we can easily observe the traveling patterns from the students who study abroad and the business travelers because they demonstrate the seasonality and traveling habits. They usually travel between like November when they need to go back to home and visit their parents, or when doing the Thanksgiving event. So now let's move on to the next question. What is the details of the pre-sale products that we are launching? So this product is a name of high flyers, which the users or the buyers can pay a one-time fixed price. And then whenever she wants to have another flights, you have to pay another extreme low flights in order to buy the tickets. So this actually serves as what we have suggested before. Pay before the actual consumption. Pay before you actually travel. So next, how can we launch this? How can we apply artificial intelligence that are currently available in our pool of resources? Here we have suggested, first, by using AI, by using the machine learning, we can achieve the customer classification in terms of different criteria. For example, the number of repeated destination and the cycle of traveling, seasonality, and age, and etc., and other different criteria. And after that, we would have a regressive model training to do the validation of our criteria, whether it is true or not. And after consistently training and some meticulous considerations, we will launch the product at the end. But this is not the end of the product cycle. Why? Because we would do continuous and consistent evaluation and adjust the price and different destinations according to machine learning. We want to continue and consistently learn by using the machine in order to improve the customer experience and have the best price. So here we have suggested a case study of Southern Airline, in which it's also offered similar products, pre-sale products to their customers, which the customers can pay a fixed price and $2,000, around $3,000, and then they can fly freely within Guangdong, with Guangdong as a departure plan within the 19 days. And also, when you want to have an extra traveling, they have to pay an extra cost of $200. So you may wonder, what are the locations that we have set? What are the designated areas? And what are the rationale behind? So here we have suggested two main criteria for the location setting. The first one, it has to be within one country, like Canada or different other USA country. And the second point is it should request strong demand from the frequent flyers. And we have suggested three examples here, like Canada, USA coast, East Coast, and USA South Coast. But this is not enough because human can always make errors, and we're not sure if it is comprehensive enough. Therefore, we will apply machine learning into the calculation to define the best designated areas that can both fit the customer needs and also to maximize our profit. So the last questions of this strategy comes to, why are you doing this? Why are you suggesting such an unfamiliar product into the market that the buyers may not, that the consumers may not accept it? So here we have suggested three key benefits of this strategy. The first one, to leverage the traveling pattern. Because as what we have observed before, that the frequent flyers, they have a very observable and very regular flying habits. So we want to tailor their needs and to expand to secure a certain amount of customer base, which all in all, we want to turn these frequent flyers into a fixed customer base and be loyal. And this brings to another benefit, which is to promote a brand loyalty. So within the whole time frame, for example, if I'm setting the products like within 19 days or within a year, the buyers and the high flyers will build a habit of traveling only through your company and will become a very loyal customers. And the third point is customization. We're not applying a fixed cost like what we have suggested for like the Southern airline. Instead, we're doing a dynamic pricing strategy by using AI to calculate the best price for the consumers. So this dynamic pricing strategy can fully utilize the consumer's pricing, the consumer consumption capacity, and we can gain the full benefits and the full profit from them. So all in all, let's look at this customer journey. I would like to repeat how pre-sale product works like. So this is when the customers want to make an actual purchase. For example, I want to go to Korea tomorrow. And then I would start to look for some different flights and compare the prices between the airlines. And this is the time frame and the time point when I make the actual purchase of flights. But what we're doing here is, because we believe that the time frame between this is not enough, it's not long enough, we cannot catch all the potential customers within only this short time frame. Therefore, we want to use this resale product to expand our customer, to expand the chance to to reach out to them to this by using high flyers. So therefore, we believe that by implementing this strategy, we can attract more customers. But that is not enough to attract more loyal customers. And this is how our strategy works like. I will now pass the time to Max.
So thank you, Yo-Yo. So we see that Cathay Pacific has highly valued the design thinking framework, which starts from the consumer's needs, then to think how to solve their problems during their consumer journey in the Cathay Pacific production line. So the second thing and the second solution that we would propose is to improve the post-landing traffic arrangements after delays caused by unexpected events. So by setting up an emergency car fleet, Cathay Pacific can serve a majority of affected passengers, which due to delays in the Hong Kong International Airport in case of unexpected events. So we see that delays is always the thing that causing dissatisfaction among the passengers who are taking our Cathay Pacific flights. And these passengers usually are not dissatisfied because they have to wait very long, because they also understand that these delays are unavoidable. But they are often bothered by the experience that they receive from the Cathay Pacific company or other airlines, because they think the service quality is not bad, or they think that after they experience the delay, they have to solve everything after they land by themselves. And this makes their experiences very bad, as they think the airline company is not helping them with anything after the delay. So by this strategy, this can help to solve this negative impression. So Cathay Pacific should cooperate with bus providers in Hong Kong to set up an emergency car fleet. This includes approaches such as signing contracts to reserve bus quota and drivers with these bus service providers, so that after delays, Cathay Pacific can request a car fleet of 20 big buses that we just suggest, so that these capacity can be sufficient enough to carry all the affected passengers from the airport to their destinations. This also will be a flexible arrangement, especially in typhoon seasons, where we can arrange more buses for the passengers, as these seasons usually have more delays or unexpected events for the passengers. Then, the routes of these bus services should be determined every time and differently each time, using our AI algorithms, which will be explained later. This can help to ensure that every passenger can reach their destination quickly enough after the delay, so that their schedule will not be affected too much by our delay. Examples of bus service providers in Hong Kong will be Sunshine Bus and Jojo Bus, which also provide these large bus services to tourists. Then, Cathay Pacific should also leverage its leading position in the airline industry to lower the average cost of this kind of provision of bus service to these passengers who are affected by the delays. As the largest airline based in Hong Kong, we're sure that Cathay Pacific is very familiar with the market landscape of Hong Kong and also familiar with all the logistics arrangements in Hong Kong. It is also a member of the One World Alliance, so that the Cathay Pacific is able to form connections with other airlines in providing their flights in Hong Kong. So we suggest Cathay Pacific to set up a platform to allow the exchange of information of the passengers. So during the check-in process, the passengers will indicate their targeted destination after they land in Hong Kong. For example, if their hotel is in Mongkok, then during the check-in, they will tell the staff that they are going to go to Mongkok after they reach Hong Kong, so that this information will be shared to the platform. And this platform is not only accessed by Cathay Pacific, but also by other airline partners in Hong Kong, not only limited to those in the alliance, but decided by Cathay Pacific. So this whole platform can help Cathay Pacific to achieve a lower average cost as each bus ride will not only serve the passengers of Cathay Pacific, but also other airlines in Hong Kong. However, these airlines will have to pay a price for using this bus service if they wish to transfer their affected customers to this bus service provided by Cathay Pacific. Also, we are suggesting to utilize suitable technology to smoothen the post-landing experiences of passengers. First is to leverage the current Cathay Pacific app or website to better release the information after delays. For example, which bus is going to be most suitable for you, and where would you be able to board on the bus after you land on Hong Kong if you experience any delays. And also, you can input your flight code so that you will show your where you are going to have the bus services. Also, we'll apply the AI reinforced learning so that we can have the route optimization of the bus, so that we recognize that different passengers may have different destinations, and to cater all their needs are very difficult. So we make use of this AI model to help the AI familiarize all the locations in Hong Kong first, and whenever Cathay Pacific meet delays or issues, they can immediately input into this AI system so that they can have the best route and arrange the quickest bus route for the passengers to take. For example, they will group the locations into group for Mongkok, Tsim Sha Tsui, or Jordan into one bus route, so that all the passengers going to these districts will be taking the same route and have the quickest travel time to their destination. So there are several key benefits of the strategy. First and most obvious, to enhance the consumer satisfaction after experiencing delays. And second, to acquire a leader position, because when you establish this decentralized platform, you will have to connect with different airlines, and you will also have the chance to coordinate the operations within the alliance or even other airlines. And also, thirdly, to transfer disruptive events into monetization opportunities. Because originally, delays should be something bad for Cathay Pacific, but if we make use of these bus services and also provide them to other airline companies at a price, you can also earn some profit by lending out this service to other airlines and allowing them to transfer their clients to your bus service. And lastly, to lower the transportation costs by collocation of all affected passengers. Then I will pass the time to him about the implementation timeline and also the financials.
So now I would like to introduce our implementation timeline. So as we can see here, for our first strategy, that is high flyers, we will first going to conduct market research, and after that, we'll start on working on data management, and soon we will start regular data analysis, which focuses on looking for features of passengers, so that we can make a better machine learning implementation afterwards. And as we can see, after 2025, we are going to implement machine learning, and as well as to start regular validation, as well as with marketing in place. And as for the AI traffic arrangement, we are going to first develop a concept, and then we are going to communicate and prepare related affairs with stakeholders such as the bus companies, as well as possibly the airport authority. And then we are going to train the AI for a pretty long period to ensure the safety and security and its consistency. And afterwards, we are going to implement quality assurance by introducing regular pressure tests to the AI system. And as for the financials, as we can see here, with our key drivers being the increase in customer retention rates using our two strategies, we are able to achieve an additional 12.1% of revenue in 2028.
Okay, so after all these implementation, we're sure that Cathay Pacific will fly high again. Thank you. We are now open for your questions.
Thank you, CUHK team. One question about the OTA, online travel agency. We are always in this love and hate relationship with them. So we want them to help us grow the reach to the customers, but then we also want to maintain the relationship with customers through our direct channel. And you mentioned briefly about the pre-sale bundle that is, being provided by OTA. How do you think we should be managing these dynamics and relationship with the OTAs?
Thank you for the question. And of course, we understand that the relationship between OTA and us, Cathay Pacific, is pretty complicated because on one side, you want them to introduce and refer some customers to your flights, to your airlines. But at the same time, they would decrease your profit margin at the same time. So we totally understand this concern. But for the pre-sale products, we're not launching this product and selling them through the OTA. Instead, we are doing it in our own website because we don't want to decrease the profit margin. And I think the most direct and efficient way for us to launch a product is through our official website. So therefore, we want to eliminate the concern between OTA and us. So that's why we're suggesting to launch this product in our own website. Thank you.
Can you summarize for me again your, line of thinking between the frequent flyers versus their price sensitivity versus the loyalty element? And how they are connected?
Sure. So at the first stage, we found out that the frequent flyers they're having a very good potential for us to leverage from them. I mean, we can leverage the profit margin from them, but how? Because we found out that they have very regular traveling habits. So there it's very important that you can catch their heart and turn them into your loyal customers. And so we were thinking, what are some products that we can turn them into your loyal customers, only belong to you, only belong to your airline, but not the others. So we found out because they are price sensitive, so we need to suggest something that is also cheap and can attract them. So pre-sale products is one way to pricely attract them. And in second way, we want to fix them and bound it into our customers. How? We can use the pre-sale product to suggest a yearly pass or an annual pass or month pass in order to fix them into our customer basket. And this is how we suggest this strategy and how it works like.
Yeah. Now you claim the frequent flyers are the price sensitive flyers. Where did you get this from? And if I claim otherwise, how could we find out?
We believe the frequent flyers are price sensitive because they're always looking for the information of their flights between their home country and the place they are going to travel in. So we believe that they are always sensitive to the price changes of the flight tickets of different airline providers. Then to eliminate this kind of price differences between Cathay Pacific's air tickets and other companies, we also suggest this bundle because after they purchase our pre-sale package, they will not consider other flights provided by other airlines, but they will use our pre-sale package to purchase our own flight tickets because they are sold in a discounted price.
And in addition, I would like to add on the fact that our strategy of pre-sales are actually based on an assumption that their flight schedule is predictable, which is, I would say, characteristics of typical students that lives in Hong Kong but goes to UK for study, for example. So for these our typical customers, we expect that they have some characteristics such as predictability and repeated destinations, which is one of our main feature to discover such price sensitive for this to work. And if we are going to find that, I would say that there do exist some frequent flyers that are not price sensitive. Those might be some businessmen. And in order to discover such a relationship, we can focus on how much they are spending on each ticket. For example, they might be purchasing for business class, and that's the way we can obtain the information of their price insensitivity.
Thank you.
Talk me through your dynamic pricing strategy. So once someone's bought your high flyer membership, you mentioned you will also deploy a dynamic pricing strategy. Talk me through how that works.
So basically, we would apply the AI algorithm and the machine learning to calculate the best amount of price of the high flyers to our customers. So basically, we won't have a fixed price compared to other airline or compared to other companies that are launching their pre-sale product. The reason why we do this, like, why don't you just set a fixed price and then to promote it in a very large scale and make everyone buy products? This is not the most efficient way, we think, for Cathay Pacific, because we believe we have a lot of premium travelers. So the way that we can leverage the profit margin from them is we do research on them. We do some calculations on them to find out the best price that they think that is worth it, and also they think it is not too high. But at the same time that we can gain a very obvious and significant profit from it. So this is basically how it works like. But in terms of the technical part, like how are we applying the AI algorithms? We will base on like the age, the frequency, or the type of classes they usually take, and use these criteria to input into our calculation and make the best price.
How would you respond to those that say then that's not fair, treating consumers fairly, if you charge different price for different high flyer passes?
So I believe this is a question regarding price discrimination when we are talking about meeting different demands or different, I would say, expectations of customers. So my response would be that we are actually fulfilling, I would say, different, I would say, the want or different levels of want of different customers precisely. And that's what we are trying to do in our strategies. That is to, while ensuring profitability, we ensure that their demands are being met as precise as possible.
I think for this problem, we can also consider implementing a point scoring system, where if you purchase more frequent flights, then your points or like VIP points will increase. Then these VIP points will be converted into a larger discounts for your tickets under the pre-sale package. So for example, if you're a business traveler traveling to UK for like 10 times, then your score will be higher. Then with this higher score, you can enjoy a more discounted price. Then I think with this kind of quantitative reflection on your profile, it can better solve the concerns about the not unfair pricings. Yeah.
For this kind of flight pass product, what would you be considering when it comes to the timing for launching it to the market? Do you think this year, for example, is a good time for us to launch it?
So we would like to clarify that this pre-sale products like High Flyer is not launched regularly. Instead, we will launch every year, let's say we would launch it once per year. But what is the time exact point that we are launching the product? It is irregularly. For example, if it's Black Friday, we may just irregularly put this product and promote and launch this product on our official website with some advertising. So the reason that we, as for the time frame, for example, we're not having the best number. We will decide on the season that we are offering. So, for example, if it's Black Friday today and we would like to offer something as a promotion, it would then be a short-term pass compared to an annual pass. So we would just base on the festival or the point that we are launching and choose the best time frame. But we would like to talk about once again that we were not launching a too long products because we don't want to fix them and giving them too many benefits that may decrease the profit margin. We just calculate the best time frame. Once they become loyal, we will just turn it into the normal tickets buying process.
To add on is that what we launch is we sell it in a pretty short duration. Hence, there will be a big impact in probably social media, which users can share their experience to others. Hence, this can build your company's brand reputation and the image as well.
Okay. I would leave the pricing discussion a bit. You focused part of your strategy on the disruptions, on the things that don't go so well, and subjectively, that is probably an element where it's good if customers feel taken care of. How did you analyze that this is an area that is worth looking at with regards to say, how often does it happen, and how much benefit can you create? How much can you lower the impact on customers?
Thank you for your question. So we believe for the disruptions made to the client experience is mainly based on environmental reasons such as wind shears. And hence, this will produce the disruptions to the user's experience since they will experience delay and their following plans will be affected as well. Hence, this part, although we can't change the environmental reasons, we hope to enhance the client's experience through the service we provide. And hence, we have made the suggestions. Yeah.
I would like to add on our line of thinking throughout the strategy formulation. So basically, we are trying to adopt the design thinking principles, and when we are looking at a recent incident in Hong Kong, that is due to a number 9 typhoon, many tourists are being stuck in the airport with no taxis or no insufficient public transport for them to leave. And such an incident would definitely be devastating to brand image of the airlines. And so we believe that with such a strategy, we can, while catering the tourist needs, we can also use this as an opportunity to boost this brand reputation through a timely solution provision.
I understand your idea of then collecting the destination data from the flyers to be, in that case, able to bring them where they want to be here locally in Hong Kong. Do you foresee any challenges in collecting that data and managing it and having several ground transportation companies and other services accessing that?
So we do expect some problems or possible challenges, including the fact that there might not be insufficient drivers. But for that problem, we can actually solve it with a relatively simple way. That is to reserve a certain number of quota, reserve a certain quota of drivers when say the Hong Kong Observatory is expecting bad weather, for example. And another difficulty that we might foresee is that, for example, there might be privacy issues. So for that sake, we are going to implement, for example, encryption or a better data management system through, for example, maybe they need us. A certain permission is required for manually checking or inputting those data, or maybe the data checking process can be tracked through an online, open, I would say a transparent system.
So the incident you quoted around Typhoon 9, the proposal is to call for the government to make transportation arrangements for all passengers. So what do you see as the pros and cons of using the government-provided approach versus your proposed approach of having Cathay undertake this?
I guess the question, the key answer to the question is responsibility. So basically, if Cathay is taking the responsibility, then it's, I would say it's putting its reputation at stake. But, and that's precisely the benefits of doing so. Because if Cathay Pacific, as an, I would say, as a famous brand of, outstanding brand of Hong Kong, of airlines in Hong Kong, if a private company can achieve, can provide a sufficiently, I would say, satisfactory experience to customers, it would definitely be a very great public relations. It would definitely have a very significant positive public relations effect on the brand. But on the other hand, while the government might be able to coordinate better, we believe that public corporations and private companies can actually cooperate under a certain framework, such as under the coordination of the airport authority, for example.
Just one final question on the implementation. So in the case we talked about Cathay Agile, and going back to your timeline slide, that it took almost 1.5 years for us to launch the machine learning models. What would be some of the alternatives that you can consider for us to reap the benefits a lot quicker?
So a typical way is to follow basically the historical routes of a traveling bus. That is basically since.
This team.